Harsch and Keepin' It Green. I'm your host, Debbie Klughers, and today I have with me Al Harsch, the Director of Corporate Relations, and Claire Nassauer, the Marketing and Advertising Director for Eastern Energy Systems.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on Keepin' It Green.
Thank you for having us here. We're excited.
Oh, it's
I'm
great.
happy to be here.
Thank you. And it's very exciting what we're going to be talking about today, which is alternative energy.
Or renewable.
Renewable energy. Yeah. And Al, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, and Claire, you'll go next, and then we'll get right into it.
You know, I'd rather talk about the technology than myself, because it's probably more exciting than I am. The thing I'm really excited about is that this industry can really turn around the economy of Long Island. Last night, I was so excited. I got to attend the Technology Hall of Fame inductee awards. And the kids there that are now in school and the things that they're doing, it just gives me great hope of our future here on Long Island, because the next jobs are going to be from those innovators. You know, science, technology, and education is what's going to move this country forward and the Long Island job market forward. So it was exciting to be there. And I actually got to meet one of the last living relatives of Nikola Tesla, the father of AC current. So that was an extreme thing for me to experience there, and we were excited about that.
Great. And how are you doing, Claire? What are you up to?
I'm doing pretty good. We're working on some big, exciting projects right now. As you see in the pictures behind us, we just completed the installation of the largest wind turbine on Long Island, 100K North Wind 100 wind turbine. It's manufactured by
Vermont?
in Vermont, Bear, Vermont, Northern Power Systems, I apologize. And yeah, we got some exciting things coming up, so it's been a wild ride. We're really excited about everything.
That's great. And let's tell the folks, what is renewable energy? What is alternative energy? These are words that we hear often, but maybe we don't fully understand what they mean.
Basically, renewable is almost like recyclable, because it's not a source that disappears. So the sunlight, obviously it'll be a fairly long time before sunlight disappears, hopefully. And wind energy is a product of solar energy, okay?
Right.
Because you get wind when the sun heats up the surface area of the earth in different areas. So the seawater will heat up at a different rate than the land mass, so you get different temperatures, and that's what causes wind.
So it's all sun-driven.
Yeah, so basically all our energy basically comes from the sun. Even geothermal comes from heating up the Earth's surface with the sun.
Absolutely. And I have a little fact about sun energy, just to let people know that we're not even utilizing the energy capabilities that the sun can give us. In that, where did it go? In 1 hour, more of the sun's energy falls on the earth than what is used by the entire population in a year.
Yeah.
So we are so underutilizing something that's there for us.
I believe
and it's clean energy.
Yeah, I think it's a 100-mile square installation of solar could provide enough power for the entire United States.
Right.
And if you think about it, if you looked at a map of the United States, that's less than a postage stamp on there, you know. So
I've known that, and I often wonder, like, why aren't we doing something? Why isn't the government just jumping forward and, maybe stopping these subsidies to the oil companies and, really going forward with what could save the planet, really? I mean, and what's going to be needed when the oil runs dry if we're not having this infrastructure in place now, when it's time that you have to have it, it might be too late to get it all going.
Yeah. The government has stepped up to the plate. They used to have a cap on the federal incentive program. Now you can receive up to 30% for either solar or wind when you install that product in a business, a municipality, or a home. So, they're coming to the plate with that. As far as the subsidies being equal, what they're putting into renewable technology now is maybe about 5% of what they're still putting into oil and gas. And, when you think about that, when you give money to the oil and gas industry to explore new oil and gas options, that's like giving money to fish to swim. It doesn't make sense.
There's no guarantee that they're going to get those returns on the investment either.
Exactly. But in this industry now, it comes down to the cost effectiveness. People can only do this. I mean, we want to be green. We want to save the planet. Everyone has that goal in mind. But unless the average person can save money doing that, they're not willing to jump into that. And with the incentives we have available today from from LIPA, from the federal government, from the state. You can make these projects cost effective, and the payoff and the return on investment is better than any CD or money market or stock account out there. So.
And you were talking about there's a few steps you have to take. The first is energy efficiency.
Yes, well, the first thing, we like to call it the little pyramid there. The first thing is conservation. If you don't need the lights on in a room, turn them off. If you don't need heat on in a room, turn it off. That's wasted energy, and that's the least cost effective of all your options. After that, being efficient. If you do have to use lighting, make sure it's on timers, so it's being used in the times that you need it. Using your heat on a timer will allow you to use it in the times that you need it.
Turning the heat down a little bit, a few degrees lower in the summer, a few degrees a few degrees higher in the summer, a few degrees lower in the winter can have a great effect on that.
Yeah. So the thing to remember is this: for every $1 that you spend on conservation, you're going to save $5 on the production end, because in the third part of that production is the last, either installing solar or wind or another source of renewable energy. For every $1 that you're going to spend on efficiency, you're going to save $3 on your production. So that's where your money is best spent right from the beginning. A programmable thermostat, some fluorescent lighting has immediate payback on things like that.
And all these incentives for the rebates for energy efficient appliances and all this kind of thing. Take advantage of it, and helping yourself, helping the planet, and.
Yeah, I just recently purchased a new refrigerator, and they give you a little fact sheet with that. And for owning the refrigerator, it's over like 7.5 years. I would have spent more money in electricity on my old refrigerator than my new refrigerator cost me. So I have a 7-year return on investment on my refrigerator. So that's the way you have to look at this. You're investing by eliminating your costs. Utilities are a cost, and they're going to grow. And it's no mystery that LIPA is going to have to raise their rates when the fossil fuel prices increase. That's something that has to happen.
Is LIPA doing any installation of solar or wind in order to have a clean energy that they could sell? That I know, like in California and such, that these utilities are generating clean energy and selling it to people. Is LIPA?
Yeah, LIPA's involved in some large and fantastic projects. They have one with Brookhaven Labs. They have another one where they're installing these solar carports, taking advantage of, you talked before about that sunlight being wasted during the day. You have these carports where, it's just wasted space. People park in a train station, the car sits there all day.
And the solar project at Brookhaven Labs is the power that they're producing is enough to power 4,400 homes.
Wow,
yeah.
That's how large the system is.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm not sure, but I think the carport project is about 17 megawatts. I think the Brookhaven Labs project is about 50 megawatts. So those are fairly large systems. So, and those are the largest systems, I believe, to be installed to date. The Brookhaven Labs one will be the largest one. So kudos to LIPA for stepping up with a project like that.
Yeah.
So you want to talk a little bit about solar and how it works?
Sure,
I think you have a picture of the diagram of a little house.
A little diagram from LIPA. Well, here's some solar panels.
Okay, that's a ground mount system right there. And basically, if someone, when you're figuring solar for a home or a business, there's two parts of the equation. One is, what is your consumption? So how much electric are you actually using? And the next is, how much space do I have to install the product necessary to provide that power? When we do a ground mount system, the person doesn't have a roof space that's unshaded, or they don't have enough roof space to fit the amount of solar panels necessary to eliminate their whole or a percentage of their electric bill. So we would do that.
They're also kind of good looking. I mean, I've heard people say, it might be ugly. That doesn't look ugly. That's interesting.
It's sexy technology, Deborah. If you look at this out, this is a beautiful picture. You can see how the panels blend and integrate right into the house itself. So, years ago, they weren't as attractive as they are now. You can see it fits into the landscape or the visual impact of the home with solar.